All right, Tom, thank you. Tonight, updated COVID guidelines from the CDC coming just days before kids return to school. Let's take a look at some of the biggest changes. They include no longer requiring people to quarantine if exposed to the virus, relaxed rules when it comes to contact tracing people without symptoms, and the CDC no longer recommends that people need to social distance, but notes people may want to avoid crowded areas to reduce their risk of exposure. THV 11's Ashley Godwin takes a look at what these changes mean for Arkansas students heading back to class. Ashley.
Hey, Faith and Rolly, COVID is still on the minds of school leaders heading into the new year. Just last night, the Little Rock School District voted to remove their mask policy, instead making them optional. But district leaders also approved a way to make sure they could bring them back if needed.
All in favor of the motion to make mask optional for staff and students going forward, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Moments after that decision, members of the board and audience members took off their masks at LRSD. The school has kept a masking policy since last year until now.
Particularly in the last week or so, was an overwhelming encouragement to make masks optional.
The board also passed another motion allowing the superintendent, with advice from public health officials and the board, to put COVID precautions back in place if things changed.
Depending on the situation, that possibly a mask could be put back into place for all people in the buildings, possibly instruction could move to virtual instead of in person. You could close buildings or close the school district if we needed to.
The CDC's updated guidance no longer recommends students to quarantine if they are exposed to a COVID-positive person. For masks, the recommendation is to wear them when community transmission is at a high level. Keep in mind that Pulaski County is still high for community transmission. That means it's still recommended that people wear a mask indoors, in public places, and get tested if you have symptoms.
Well, indoors at a school is a public place, so wear a mask when it's high. When it's not, then the recommendation isn't for everyone, to do that. Base it on your personal risk.
And when it comes to students in the Pulaski County Special School District, masks are also optional. You can take a closer look at the CDC's new COVID guidelines right now on our website, thv11.com.